there. I've got Talk over here, which I will put you guys. Just trying to get everything where I got you all kind of in the same area. Listening to Dead Pirates, if you guys like that band. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Which I do have a video downloading that will then later be uploading to YouTube. It's not going to be going live for a while. I'm in the middle of making a whole series of videos. But I'm done with all that stuff for now. Well, for this moment, I'm on it. I need to work on some donation items. I'm in the Wood County Women's Rights Alliance group, and I started this last night at our meeting. Super thin. It's just a number 4 worsted weight yarn double knitting. A slightly bulkier yarn would have been better, but this is going to be light, and see, when it's wrapped around you, it's not going to look too bad. But it is soft. I do like the Heartland yarn. Heartland yarn. I am a fan. So, what crafts does everybody do? I got Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. All right. So I believe streaming on Facebook, it's automatically going to stream it to YouTube not YouTube, to Instagram as well, I think. Angle this down some. I don't really like that angle. Oh, the view on the webcam is so much better. I gotta get a good webcam for my new laptop, because the view that Facebook and Instagram have really isn't the best quality. My laptop over here in the corner. That's just so I can see chats. All right, cool. All my sources can see what I'm working on. Nice. All righty. So I do hope that everybody is doing well, staying sane, staying busy, keeping active. Where I'm at, the weather is starting to change. It's getting springy out, and everybody is excited and doing more things. I am happy about that. Hi, Beth. When I get comments on different social medias, I'll read them out loud so that everybody can hear what the comments are. We got TikTok. This is Beth. Hi, how are you doing? Actually, I'm doing pretty good. I am. It's starting to get warmer where I'm at, and that just gives me a huge boost of energy. It's like I want to get outside and plant flowers and weed, garden, and whatever else. We have events coming up, and we are set up in a couple of vendor locations. So with the weather getting nice, we're able to go out on Saturdays and hit up yard sales and stuff and source that way. we kind of do a lot of different things. There's a shop that I make like some baked goods and sell at. I make these mystery movie bags that sell, which I got to make up some of those too. Um, my latest thing is doing concrete planners. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I just never bought the molds, and I haven't double checked, but Temu had put out a thing saying that on April 25th, their prices were going to raise. And so I went ahead and put in a big order, and I'm still waiting for most of it to come in. But I've gotten the skull molds, the Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Hear, See, Speak No Evil. I've got those. And our first event that we will be setting up at this year is going to be Parkersburg Pride. And I bought a bunch of concrete dye that's coming. And some of the planners, I'm going to layer, my goal is to layer them rainbow. Parkersburg Pride is such a fun event. Then we do Multicultural Festival, which is just fantastic. And both of those are free events to the public. There's lots of community outreach and support that show up at these events. Hi, Angie. Let me see, Beth. I think I might have missed some comments up here. Oh, yeah. So who have we got here? Hi, Dawn. So, Beth, are you a crafter, or did you just catch my stream scrolling through? Just want to do TikToks. Not in there, not in there. All right. I know knitting over this side, y'all can't see what I'm doing, but I'm taking those bottom loops over the top loops. This project works up so fast. I've done like 2 rows just sitting here, but in, I don't know, like an hour yesterday, I got this much of it worked up, sitting at the women's meeting. I'm gonna do YouTube. I'll move. There we go, YouTube. And there you go. Which, if you want to see how I am wrapping this, I've got a straw, so it's easier for me to just wrap the yarn really fast. This is called a stockinette stitch, double knitting. When you cast on, you do exactly what I'm doing here for your first row. And then I take and put a string over top of it and tie that row off so I can go back with a crochet hook and kind of pick up the loops. If not, you might end up with kind of a loopy bottom, which if you're not going to be adding French to it, you might not like that. Then you, after you put the string on it, you will wrap a second row and you take those bottom loops over the top loops and you just repeat it. I like this stitch because you can really just kind of go on autopilot and do this. So how many crafters do I have watching? And what crafts do you use? What crafts do you do? I do a little bit of a lot of stuff. I just don't make tumblers. That's kind of a joke. Every single event we go to, there's always like 6 women who are selling tumblers. No hate. No hate on the tumbler crafters. It's just, it's a flooded market. And who we have join over here? Hi. Toilet paper is someone's screen name on TikTok. That is funny. Okay, so I got 2 viewers on YouTube. Does this show over here? I've got things set up on multiple things. Event log. I don't know. Next week, I need to do videos. So, I mean, I'll stream live while I do some of my videos. I'm trying to stream and go live and kind of get my presence out there a bit more because I've never really done a lot of the lives. I'm more of I'm going to record it and then spend hours editing it down type. But if I'm going to be sitting and just knitting, I might as well be socializing. Hi, Zombie, and hi, Izzy. If you're just joining, I am streaming on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube right now. If you hear me talking and you're not seeing comments, I'm responding to someone from another social media. Okay, let me see here. Dead Pirates. I am a big fan of the band Dead Pirates. This right here is one of my, just my favorite, one of my favorite songs, period. It is Ugo by the Dead Pirates. And I know some TikTok I may end up getting a notice from with this music playing in the background. Oh, we shall see. Hi, Opal. Suitcase. Got nowhere in mind. Let's see here, TikTok. I'm gonna share you a couple places. Alright, I'll show you guys the difference in time from wrapping with my hands versus wrapping with a straw. Okay. I never wrap this way. Alright, my straw's getting in the way. I'm going to try that again, but you can see it's a little more difficult. There we go. Had to get a groove going. See, that's how I'm wrapping, and I'm holding down the stitches of the one before it as I go so it doesn't pop off. And knit the slower, and then I'll show you how fast I can wrap it with the tool. And you also notice the way my wrist move, it's less stress on my wrist too. Hi everybody, got a couple new people in the chat. bed, you and me won't get to sleep tonight. Got that row done. Push that down. It works up really fast. I'm using a half-inch gauge loom, but it's not one of the double knit looms where the sides here are closer together. So it gives a looser stitch. Okay, so now you guys saw me wrap and knit over with without using the straw. Yeah, that goes so much faster. And what I do is I get paper straws and then wrap box tape around them. I like paper straws because I can bend the tip real easy to where it just goes through the page real fast. Just personal preference. I've used the tubes of pins. Take an old pin apart, take the inside out, run your yarn through it, and use that. When you have a pin that has a nice grip on it, as long as the tip of it is small enough to easily go through your pegs, those can be fantastic. Well, I haven't used any of those in a long time. Now I'm thinking, okay, when this pin dies, this is I like this pin. All right, I may. Hi, Kelly. And Barbie and Christian. Which this scarf I'm making to donate. Honestly, most of the things I make, other than socks or gloves, end up getting donated. Yeah, even a good bit of gloves. I'm in the KOM Fiber Guild, and we knit all year long and donate to the church that lets us use their building for our meetings. They have a dinner every year at Christmas for the elderly, people who are alone, the homeless. Anybody can come, and it's become a thing where people come and they're excited because they're gonna be able to get nice hand knitted stuff. Because some of the women in the guild are knitting stuff with like nice wool and different things and donating them. And but so I knit for that. I'm also in the Wood County's Women's Rights Alliance, and we have like a little period pantry thing that has like menstrual stuff in it, and information. And I've knitted a few hats just to put in there. People get cold. And I've knitted, and I also will knit hats and donate to the school. But this year, I think I'm going to concentrate on knitting for the Women's Rights Society or Alliance, I mean. And because we're trying to do a lot of outreach with the schools, Planned Parenthood. There is a place in our area, I don't know if it's nationwide, it's called Eve, and it's a domestic women's violence shelter. And they take in, it's a secret place, like you don't know, like the building isn't labeled and they don't give out the address for it. But if a woman's in crisis and calls for help or something, then that's different. But they'll take in women and children, And a lot of these people are coming to this place with nothing. They're leaving a violent, abusive situation. And there's kids with no clothes. But this place, it's like a big home. And it's a really good program. Am I'm happy to be able to be part of these different groups, out there trying to make some change, help the people who need the help. All right, I'm going to play another one of my favorite songs. Maybe, yes. This is Intro by the XX. And this one doesn't even have any words to it. It's just a good. I like it. I like it. What do you guys think? Hi, Patrick. And hello, Ophelia. There's a song called Ophelia that I like quite a bit. It's a very good song. I'm very surprised I don't have any cats in here just walking all over everything. Oh, wait, no. It's like 80 degrees outside or something, so never mind. They're not going to be inside today. I've got 5 cats. My oldest has an iguana, and we have like volunteer possums and raccoons. Hey. While I'm knitting, I'm going to tell you guys a story that I was basically in tears. I was laughing so hard. So we got almost 2 acres of land. It's cut out in the woods, so it's an area where I feel safe letting my animals in and out as they please. And well, an area as such, there is obviously wildlife. We have one cat that's pretty much an outside cat. So there's food and stuff that's left outside for the cats. But the possums and raccoons, they come and eat it too. A couple nights ago, my oldest has a cat named Wolfenstein, black long-haired cat. And Jax saw Wolfenstein eating on the deck, and it was dark. Jax walked out on the deck and just grabbed Woofy like this, just scooped him up and gave him a big hug. Looked down, Jax had picked up a raccoon. So Jax is squeezing a raccoon that is absolutely freaking out. This was the motion that Jax showed me. It did. They said the raccoon just froze. Didn't make a noise or anything. It was like that raccoon was trying to scream, but it froze. So Jax was so startled that they basically dropped the raccoon, and the raccoon just took off running and ran right into one of our other cats. Like straight up just T-boned another one of our cats, and then the raccoon ran and fell down the stairs. The raccoon's okay. The raccoon is okay. But oh man, that's one of those things I wish we had on camera. And we're wanting to set up a camera because the trampoline has raccoon paw prints all over it. And yesterday, my youngest was on the trampoline, and this was in the middle of the day, and a raccoon comes running out of the woods at the trampoline and just dead stops when it sees Kiana and just stares at her for a minute, turns around, and runs back. So I'm like, man, do we have raccoons that are jumping on the trampoline? I want that filmed. I want proof of that. This is Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino. It took me so long to say Gambino. I always wanted to say Childish Bambino. Hi, Brenda. I have a cousin named Brenda Taylor. in the street on a day like this, baby, it feels like summer. I feel like summer. It's been getting so long. Which I do more than just loom knitting. That's just what my YouTube channel is 100% all loom knitting. My Instagram, for my business Instagram, the Hypnotic Hysteria one, I've posted other stuff on it in the past, but I think I'm just going to go straight loom knitting, nothing else on it as well. But the rest of my social media is just all over the place. No, my Facebook business page is only loom knitting. My YouTube channel is only loom knitting. And Instagram is going to be basically only loom knitting. Okay. I have another scarf I'm working on. I'm going to go grab it and bring it in and show you guys the difference. It's a double knitting scarf, but I'm doing a different stitch. I'm doing a rib stitch with it. Let me see, is my done? I'm going to grab it real quick. Be right back. There it is. It's another item I'm working on. I'm using one of these with it. I can't think what it's called, but I love this thing. Of course, I got a pretty one that has plants on it. Me, the plant woman. Which this needs to hang somewhere. You know what? I'm going to hang it on this light over here. You aren't going to mind, are you? Just tighten that up. Now, with the spinny thing, I've noticed if I have it up higher, it tends to work better. Sometimes the yarn will come up around that top part. Okay, so this is a double knit rib stitch. This is a double knit stockinette stitch, which basically, when it's done, and if I'd done this with a tighter, with a number 5 weight yarn instead of a 4, it would have, it basically looks like your knit stitches, but on both sides. How most of the time when you knit, you'll have, this is the front of your knit stitch right here, but then the back of it, you have the bars. But when you're double knitting, the back, not always, depends on the stitches you're using, but most of the time the back is going to be the same stitch as the front part. My square series, some of you guys have been kind of following me getting that prepared. I've just got one more video, one more block that's done to edit, but I gotta check my old computer because there is a video clip I'm missing, but hopefully it's on my other computer and I just put it in the wrong file. I got that. But I also have 1, 2, 3, 3, maybe 4 more squares ready to go. The patterns are wrote out. I'm really excited about this square series I'm going to do. It's just going to be an educational series, and the reason I'm starting this, well, it was really something I wanted to do for a long time. Any fiber art you can find, you're going to have sampler sampler books and squares. It's nothing original that I'm doing. But at one of the Knitting Guild meetings, we will do things called yarn swaps, where we will just kind of go through our stash. If we have knitting needles, crochet hooks, fiber, knitting tools, bags, notions, whatever, we bring them in, we all just kind of swap them back and forth. Well, somebody brought a bag of squares that they were working on for a blanket. It was made with really nice wool yarn. And they'd only had 9 of the squares done. And what had happened was the woman, there was an emotional reason why she just couldn't work on it anymore. And so I got it. I'm like, all right. At first, I was like, well, maybe I'll make the last 3 squares or 5 squares or whatever it was. But that was, I didn't want to. And I kept them for a while. And finally, I laid them out in my bed. And I was like, I'm going to figure out something for these. And I made a scarf, which I'll show the squares close up in a moment. But see how absurdly long it is? But if I wrap it around my neck, it is perfect. This is one of my favorite things. I wore this all winter long. But the squares, I hooked 2 of them to make pockets, and the rest I just hooked together. And I don't know if this is a single crochet, double crochet. I can never, maybe a single. But then I just did a crochet line around the whole edge. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. And every time I went somewhere with the scarf on, I keep getting people complimenting the scarf, asking me, where I got it, if I made it, things like that. And so I'm like, you know what? This is going to be a series people I think will like. So I've been trying to figure out, learn every different way to connect the blocks, like blankets, scarves. I've seen some sweater patterns to do with squares. Those ones tend to be mainly crochet ones I found, but I mean, there's even that idea. All right, I'm going to knit over this row here, and I'll show you how I wrapped it. Now, how is my audio camera set up and everything for you guys? A couple weeks ago, I kept having trouble with audio. I think it was the phone that was doing that. All right. Get drinking my possum mug. Possum mug, everybody. Everybody should have a possum mug. I'll put it where you guys can see my possum mug. Okie doke. So to wrap this, let me show it kind of up close. Again, this is a stitch where each row is wrapped the exact same. But for this one, we are E-wrapping the pegs instead of U-wrapping them, which is E-wrap, you wrap completely around the peg, kind of like a cursive E. But we're doing a shape like this And when you do that, it's going to stretch out and you have the ribbon. Okay, this thing was pretty good. How did I get that tangled? No. There we go. Share to groups. Select groups to share live videos to reach more people. Yeah, I gotta set that up next time. See? Each row exactly the same. Hi, Lisha. Sorry, itchy eye. And then you knit over, take those bottom loops over the top loops. I'm not, yeah, this one and the brown one I'm working on. Those are both going to be scarves. Actually, I'll show you the stuff I've gotten worked up in the past month. My knitting guild bag. But here's some donation items that I've made up. There is. Got a headband here. After I messed up my hair. This was going to be like a scarf, well, a neck warmer, but I ran out of yarn. But I really like it. It just ended at the perfect length, at least for me. I messed my hair up putting it on. And to look at it close up, I did the stitch right here for it. There's where I joined it. The join doesn't have that stretch, but I just keep that in the back. So here's this one. Take my greasy hair down for a moment. Show you guys all the stuff I made. Here. You guys, I'll make the camera up. Okay, so I've got a hat. Which my head's small, so I'll hold it up so you guys can see. And then I did make a neck warmer with that collar. I used a figure 8 stitch. It's just a small one you can pull up. And I'm using this yarn. I've already made a couple hats and donated, but I did. This is this stitch right here, but on a narrower loom with a tighter gauge. And this one makes a nice headband. It's really comfortable. And this one is just a wide scarf. And this one was double knit. I like this one. This one is cute. I think it would look cute with a little shawl pin. Mine isn't sitting right here. I have one that's like a coffee cup. I pull my hair back. So these are the items that are getting donated to the Knitting Guild, which will be donating these items to the church that we use, and they give them out at, well, they have them out at Christmas, and anybody who needs knitted items can get them. That's what those ones are. So how is everybody? do a few rows on this one. Oh, I grabbed this loom tool when I went in the other room. Okay. Cindywood Looms has always, like, these tools, they don't bend, they don't break, they are forever. But do you know why? Cindywood Looms, if these look familiar at all, it's because these are dental tools that are dulled. Isn't that so cool? And then they put a pencil grip on it. These are fantastic. I've never had one to break or bend on me. Now, KB Looms has an ergonomic one that they have put out. I have bent these, but if you have arthritis and stuff, you know, you're not holding your hand like this. Your hands, you got a little more cushion around there. So these ones I really like. I still love my Cindywood one too. Oh, I actually have a third project that I'm working on right now. I do have a square. I'm going to finish this row and I'll get my third project. There's no combination of words I can put on the back of a postcard. Box of photographs with sepia tone. Love is the answer, release for most of the questions in my heart. See, I can end this one now and make it a headband. Oh no, not quite yet. I am debating. I may make this one a headband too. I like the headband more than I thought I would, but I am someone who gets chronic migraines. They will just hit like that, and keeping my head covered is very important. Yay. Let me grab my other project. This one is not double knit. Now this one has been very frustrating for me. This one is not double knitting, but I am doing collar work. So I've got this chart right here that I'm following, and this is one of my it's not like I didn't design plaid, obviously. This PDF is one of mine that I'm following to attempt to do this. I've been trying different ways because when you are running, see, there's a couple spots, like a couple rows, you are running all three collars pretty much the entire row. That's frustrating. Oh man, is that frustrating. And then to try to not have my float show through, but I've been trying a couple different things. Which, if you were here earlier, this was the video that I edited today. Which, let me see, did it finish yet? Dear good God, it's at 41%. So it's at 41% right now. So I keep saying so a lot, and I'm sorry. Yeah, here's how the front of this one turned out. Here's how the back turned out. I tried different ways. I twist after every single peg, did 2, 3, kind of figure out what I thought looked the best. One thing that when you're doing collar work like this, when it comes to the knit stitch, use the true knit stitch. I am a pathological unit user. I love the unit stitch. It's just so fast, and it's the same stitch. It just doesn't have quite as much yarn in it as the true knit stitch will. So the true knit stitch will have more of a stretch to it, and it's going to be a little better at hiding the floats, which are your collars in between here. Let me show you like this. These aren't supposed to be blue stripes that way. Oh, looks like there's blue stripes that way. Do a true knit stitch, then that will help with that. But I felt like this one wasn't too bad. The 2-collar plaid, running 2 collars, wasn't very bad. It was just making sure I kept my row count, which, let me see if this has the other part of the PDF on the back. No. Yes, TikTok, I'm a real human. Yeah. I don't have it on there. There's my plaid. I'm sitting over there. I love you so, please. Oh, I never did angle these back down. Sorry, guys. Please don't go, please don't go. I love you so, I love you so. I love you, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so. I love you, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so. Yeah, I don't know anybody from California. And yes, my ringtone is amazing. Ooh, if you've noticed my shirt, the Fiber Guild, we go to Youngstown Dairy in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Ooh, I want to say like September-ish. They have a huge fiber festival, wool gatherings, what they call it. And we've went the last three or 4 years. I think I've went 3 or 4 times. I've went at least 3 times, maybe 4. And it's right by a dairy place. Let me see if the name's on here. Yellow Springs Wool Gathering. I want to say Cold Stone Creamery. It's obviously not a Cold Stone Creamery. It's a real, they make their ice cream homemade there. It's on like a dairy farm. And they have, it's so fun because you see my spinning wheel back there. So I do spin, and I always get fiber when I'm there. And last year, The year before last, someone brought yaks because they have like a little petting zoo. They have like a little petting zoo type area, and some of the booths will have fur fiber that they're selling. Like this yak, this yarn was made from it. This alpaca produced this yarn. It's really, really cool. I don't know if I've got anybody that spins who's really watching, but I will go ahead and show you the fiber that I've got left that I got last year that I haven't used yet. Which, God, this is my PDFs printed out. This I just got for $5 at a thrift store. This is alpaca, and it's processed nice. Dirt, what I've got left, it's down here, and it is so pretty. See all the different colors in it. So this is going to be really pretty. When I had my hysterectomy, this is a whole bag of alpaca that I processed myself. I washed it, I carded it, brushed it, got the matter out of it. It is so soft. I haven't even started to spin it yet. This is probably one of my favorite drop spindles I have, and it's a 3D printed one. There's some alpaca fiber, wool. I can show you guys some of the yarn I've made. This was fiber I got at Yellow Springs 2 years ago, I think. There's alpaca. The brown is alpaca. The green is like wool and silk blend. This is just horrible, itchy stuff when I was learning. This is one that I had. It was already red, but there's like a darker red in it that I had dyed. This is, it's going to have wool, and I don't know whether the fiber's in there. This is my favorite. I hand spun this with a drop spindle. It's pure wool, and I dyed it with turmeric. And the way I tied it off, some parts soaked overnight in the turmeric, some were just in it for a couple minutes. So I have all these different beautiful shades of yellow in there, like orangey yellow. This one is my favorite. I need one of those little twisty things. I don't know if you guys have seen them or not. I need to turn this Hank back into a Hank. Such weird names. That one is my favorite. This is the brown's alpaca in this one. This is yarn I spun up, hand spun. It was so thin, and I dyed it with berries. It was originally white, just white wool, and I took and hanked it up, did this, soaked part of it in, it was actually mixed berry blend in the freezer that had got like super freezer burnt. So I repurposed it. All right, put that, shove all this stuff back down in here. Got my carders and everything. Jeremy got me a blending board when I had my hysterectomy. This was so nice. Such a nice blending board because I've got carders down here, the big ones. That doesn't go there. All right. I gotta step out for just a moment, guys. I will be right back. Earlier, I was talking about candle or candle molds we got, or yeah, planners. Here we go. These are supposed to be for like tea lights or planters for plants. And then we got little incense ones. This is for incense sticks and for incense cones. I guess I can put this up. I'm figuring out the best way to mix the concrete and do everything. It is a process. Like this one, it didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it to. We still have some kind of gritty spots on it. This one came out of the mold this morning, and I'm going to let it sit for a day or two and then paint it. Now, this one turned out good. I lost a thumb that I redid on it. But it's a learning process. I have, well, all of the molds are full right now. And what I did this time was sometimes these aren't forming in a circle like this. So I found I have some 2-inch little pots that I was able to, that fit right in the mold perfect. So they're in there with the pot in this part. And then you got the mold, and the molds are filled. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. My problem so far with the concrete has been I think it's me. It's a me problem. I'm not letting it sit and cure long enough, I think. Oh, we have tried a couple different things. We saw some things saying that they were mixing sand in with their concrete to make the planters. But with these little things, I don't like that. I'm going to try that when I do big items. But I am excited to be doing the planters. These two right here, these little bastards, are so difficult. The way the mold for this is, I keep breaking this off trying to get it out of the mold. So I think I'm going to let these ones sit for like maybe 3 days. Same thing with this dude. With this dude, the issue I'm having is either the head snapping or the little part right here that holds the incense stick, that just kind of crumbling. But I'm happy with these. I've got, I think, like 30 different molds coming. I believe I've got a lot of molds coming. All right, TikTok, I'm going to have to move my phone around. I've got 15% charge, so I have to plug you in. Yeah, you get to look at my ceiling for a minute and my hand. I'm not sure if that's going to sit there, right? Because the charger's coming out at the bottom. Who we got back there? Is that my duct tape? That is. No, I'm not opening this door. This one is my favorite kitty cat. This is duct tape. She's my big girl. And yes, her name is duct tape. That's what I said, guys. Is you gonna be mad at him? Oh, she's so cute. She's like 15 pounds. When I had my hysterectomy, I wasn't allowed to hold her for so long. I did anyway, but I wasn't supposed to. This is like the best cat to ever cat. She's a good mouser, and she sleeps on my head like every night. She's so beautiful. I thought all the kitty cats were outside. Yeah. I thought all you guys were outside today. Now she's getting irritated. Well, maybe not. She's not trying to get down yet. Yeah, it's not the happiest ears I've ever seen on her. Oh, you don't need on the table. Oh, okay. I'll lay down for a minute. Stay off my computer. She's so fat. Oh. I guess I can get back to crafting, couldn't I? I'm gonna go put these up. I was really excited about these. I'm very, very excited. I'm happy how they turned out. It is, like I said, it's a learning process for me, but this is something I've been wanting to try for a long time. Yay! It's just one more item to add to our repertoire. I'm facing trouble all my life. Everyone look, I catch a glimpse of you. Oh, I could probably. Forgot I got this stand. This was a nice yard sale find. Anytime. There we go, TikTok. This is much better. Hold on, sorry guys. Yes. Trouble on my left, trouble on my right. I've been facing trouble almost all my life. My sweet love, won't you pull me through? Every time I look, I catch a glimpse of you. I said I would love, didn't do it for you. Trouble on my left, trouble on my right. I've been facing trouble almost all my life. My sweet love, won't you pull me through? Every time I look, I catch a glimpse of you. Not that I can do what I wanted. That's way too much. Close enough. Too much to lose. Got so much to do. God, don't let me lose my mind. Come a little closer, let me see. Come on, come on, come on. Is there what things seem to be? Come on, come on, come on. I know I would get more interaction and views if I did my lives, if I did them later in the day, but I've got kids and stuff. During the day is the best time for me to do this stuff. Instead of anchoring my yarn, I always just knit over that last peg first. Changes. Come a little closer, let me see. If the pegs seem loose on this loom, it's because these ones are not glued in. I got a lot of my looms sent to me without the pegs glued in. There's different reasons behind it. Dun, dun, dun. Which it's, oh wow, it's already 12:27. Okay. Well, I was thinking about staying on here till about 12:30. I got that. Hi, Shelly. Oh, that's not Shelly. I'm a little closer than you say. Push down all the previous stitches. We're gonna wrap. I'm still trying to decide whether it's going to be a headband or a scarf. I'm doing the brown one as a scarf. This, all right, I'll do, actually, no, that's probably enough for a headband. Because it's going to stretch a bit. Yeah, nice. Cold as a coat, but the rain and the wind in the asphalt. I prefer to do my bind off going in the other direction, so I'll do one more row. Nice. Which I'll finish this up, and it goes in my Knitting Guild tote to get put in the donation pile. Year before last year, my mom passed away like August before last. So since then, a lot of the stuff just I just didn't do anything for a while. And I'm getting back, guys, getting back to it. I was going somewhere with that. Oh, I was talking about, but the year before my mom passed away, I got an Addie knitting machine for Christmas, and in 2 months, I knitted 200 hats. 200 hats. I had, with the Fiber Guild, we do yarn swaps, so I didn't really have to go buy yarn, but all the hats were donated. Some were donated to a bus garage, some were donated to the Christmas dinner for the homeless, those things. But I was very excited about that. I was very, very happy I was able to make that many that fast. All right, now I'm going to knit this off, and I'm going to be connecting both of these ends, so doesn't need to be like this super stretchy thing. So I'm going to be removing the loops, the stitches from one side and placing them on the corresponding peg on the opposite side, so that only one side will have stitches on it, and each peg will have two. Yeah, I'll show you guys how to get this off the loom and how to. I just use a mattress seam to connect it, which if you're unfamiliar with how to do that, I'll show you that as well. which how these are E-wrapped, you might notice some of these I'm kind of dropping. If they get unstitched, if they get untwisted when I'm putting them over, this is that bind off row, and then I'm connecting the two sides. It's not anything anybody will be able to notice. All right, I'm going to knit over all of those, take those bottom loops over the top, and bottom, bottom, top, and bottom over top, and bottom over top. Which, if I make this cast off strand long enough, I might be able to do the bind off and the connection. No, I don't want to fight with that much yarn. All right, I'm using a super stretchy bind off. I want to make sure I have enough yarn to finish this bind off. So what I'm doing is I'm wrapping it around the part of the loom I used a couple times. About 2.5 to 3 times tends to be pretty good. My toolbox. It's super stretchy bind off. Working yarn's coming from peg 1 to set it up. So skip one up. Go back to peg 1 and pull the working yarn down through the stitch. All right, 2 steps for this bind off. Skip one up, back one down. What that means is I'm skipping one peg and pull the working yarn up through the stitch on that peg. Back one down. I'm going back one peg and pull the working yarn down through the stitch on that peg. Skip one, and you're skipping it with the yarn in front of the peg here. Skip one up, back one down. You'll notice in some of my videos I might say skip one down, back one up. It does, as long as you do whichever one, you do it consistently through the whole project, through the whole bind off. Skip one up, back one down. Nothing else comes by absence of you. Want you, we can bring it on the floor. Never dance like this before. We don't talk about it. We can bring it on the floor. Never dance like this before. And when you get to the last peg, I'm going to go back a second time, pull the working yarn up. That way it's just at the end. Told you pegs aren't glued in on this one. I just threw one. I had them do that because sometimes I'll switch out peg collars instead of marking pegs. So make sure. Yeah. Nice. Which I might, yeah, I think I'll have enough to do the bind off. Boogie all night long, stoned in paradise. All right, let's go ahead and connect these. So what we want to do is we want to connect this side to this side all the way down. We're going to be using a mattress seam, which we'll be picking up. I'm going to show TikTok here first. We'll be going through over here. Mattress seam is kind of like a figure eight, kind of like this little figure eight. Working yarns here. I'm trying to find the last stitch on this side. And you're going to skip over one. You do this, you're going to go over one stitch, go through, and you're going to kind of go back and hit that stitch you did before. I know this is not the easiest way to show this. The yarn is fuzzy. I could have videos. I know I showed this in a video. I just don't remember what video. I've got a lot of my videos I'm going to redo. Well, not so much redo. I'm just going to update maybe. I don't know. Those videos, all my videos will stay out. That's out. But I'm going to do more that's going to go in more detail because over the years I've learned a lot. I've learned a whole lot. And now as you're doing this, you notice the tension isn't the same on both sides here. You want to make sure you're keeping the end here held so that you don't end up over here and have a bunch extra. When you're out there, your eyes out of touch. What you got in no. That make me crazy. That make me crazy. That make me crazy. Possibly. I love this version of this song. Bless your soul. You think you're in control. Sorry guys, I'm not exactly the greatest singer. I like to sing. Alright. We've got that connected. Now you can, I didn't get it completely on the end right there. Let me stretch this. Let's see how it looks. Now, when you use this way to join, I'll show you on TikTok first. That's how it turned out. That's how it turned out. If you want it to, you can actually take this strand and kind of tighten it up along the way if you want. Really, for the headband, that's not necessary because you kind of want that stretch in it, but this is something you can do. Like if you join things with a mattress seam with a collar that's not the same, if you keep a tail out on this side and out this side when you're done, that way you can pull it tight and it'll help hide that strand. Let me go ahead and weave this in. But you'll notice that you're not going to see me use knots very often. I just kind of go through here all haphazardly, willy-nilly. Make sure I got that in there tight. Luckily with this yarn here, it's a single ply and it's fuzzy, so this is most likely going to basically felt down in there. The ends will. I always leave a little bit of a tail out when I cut my end because watch my hands. As this stretches, that tail will stretch and it'll kind of get woven eventually. Here's the tail on the other side. Okay, let's see how this one fits. I need help, I got a base bad luck. which this can be used over the mouth too. But it is so stretchy that I can have it like this. I think all my cameras will catch that. Or all right, I can't see that from the back, but I hope it looks good. Feels nice. I like the way it fits. Yay! Nice. Another finished object. Put it in my bag over here. I've got a couple bags. The one is knitting guild stuff. The other one is the women's group stuff. All right. Now that I'm done with that one, my chair. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm trying to just use up the rest of this yarn, make donation items. So far, it was a big thing of yarn, and I've made 2 hats, 2 neck warmers, because the 2 hats I've turned into, I already donated to the guild last month. Yeah. 2 hats and 2 neck warmers. This one is the double knit rib stitch I just got done. And this is double knit stockinette stitch. That's the one I'm working on here. But you can see the difference in just... All right. So this is the loom I made. Both of those on. And you notice this is much tighter, much thicker than what this is. Here's the thing. Both of these are number 4 worsted weight yarn. Both of these are 1/2 inch gauge looms. Here is the difference. This is the narrow loom. It is designed for double knitting. Oh, it's great to make like washcloths, dish towels, double knit scarves and stuff. I love this loom. And this is actually the fingerless glove loom. It's marked. I'm the one who does the fingerless glove loom and writes all the patterns for it. I know I haven't put anything out in a while. Let me see if I've got what I got back here. Yes. Here's one of the gloves that I made on the fingerless glove loom. I really like how this one turned out. It's a nice texture. Unfortunately, this yarn, it is so pretty. It has the shimmery sparkles in it. I don't know if you guys can see the tinsel, if it picks up in the video or not. But it pills so bad. This one hasn't even been worn by anybody, really. It was just one I made. It's in my stash. Yeah. Which, at the end of the year, I'll go through. This is the only thing in there I didn't actually make. So I've got arm warmers, leg warmers, hats. Oh, I forgot about this one. This hat is 100% alpaca, and it's fiber that I had to card and spin, everything. So I made the actual yarn, and I made the hat. Unfortunately, I twisted the yarn as I was spinning it. I spun it pretty tight. So it's a little itchy. It's kind of itchy. So I need to make a liner for it, which I've never done that. I've seen people use felt to make liners. Here's a scarf I did, double knit. pillowcase. Oh yes, this one's going to be redone for one of my squares too. Can you guys see the texture? Tree. So this will be one of the patterns that I redo. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a little swing here, I think. Add a little, just a little swing. I may add something over here too. I don't know. This took so long, and I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I put a lot of work into coming up with the design for that. Here is a laptop case I made. Super thick. This was all double knit. And I got a pocket on the inside. It's a messenger bag. I never did put buttons on it, but here's what the bag looks like all closed up. The handle has the cable going through the whole thing, and it's super, super thick. A little longer, maybe than necessary. Something else I made with yarn that I spun. This was all hand spun. I think this one I made while I was recovering from my hysterectomy. Because it's like super big. Super, super big. I get cold, I get migraines, so I gotta be able to cover my whole head up. Because if my head gets cold, I get a migraine. And it will happen very, very fast. But this is just a mix of different fibers. There's going to be some alpaca, some wool. There's going to be some silk in there. I don't think there's any like real crazy fiber in there. Here is an Argyle double knit scarf I did a long time ago. Ooh. Here's another hat I did. This one was hand spun yarn, wool and silk. Yeah, I didn't realize I had so many. Here's another pillowcase. Now that hat will be a donation. Square. All right. I'll put this stuff back. Now here's all my donation items. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. 5, 6 items to take in this month. Nice. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cast on double knitting again for this. I'll show you guys how to do that. Oops. There we go. You want a scrap piece of yarn. Trying to think. I want to do a different stitch, not the stockinette. Let me grab a double knitting book. There it is. Yes. Purchased this book and downloaded it. It's in Portuguese. Double knitting. They call it like Portuguese knitting or rake knitting. Let me see what we got in here. And I cannot speak Portuguese. Bert. Find the images. And I cannot tell you how I found this. You might be able to just type in the name. You see, each page is really nice. I don't want to do just a figure 8. No. No, that's too loopy. Something I'll give a texture. I just want to do a different one. I could do some cables. Maybe. I know, that's the more I'm thinking about it. I like the idea of just doing cables, which would be, I just use my rib stitch. No, I don't want lacy. So I'm going to do, I want to make it as long as I can with the yarn that's left. And so it'll either be like a scarf or another ear warmer. But it's going to be different than the other ones I've already sent. Some of these are insane. Like, it would be so hard to remember how to wrap them the same each time. It could be very confusing. No, I don't want to do that. Well, maybe I do. No, because I can't cable that. So who here loom knits? Oh, hi! Create and relate? Yes. Yes, YouTube is live. Sorry, I just looked up and saw... yeah. I just saw your comment. I don't know how... Does it tell me how long you made that comment? No, it doesn't. But yes, this is live. If you have questions or anything, just ask. That was on YouTube. I'm streaming live on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook right now. I'm getting ready to start a project, and I'm trying to figure out the stitch I want to use. This book is so nice. Nice. Some of these are insane. Hold on, I'll find a real confusing one and show you guys. Nice. See, and I don't know what the different chapters are. I'm getting ready. I want to make, maybe it's going to be a scarf. This is a question from YouTube asking what I'm making. I've got this much yarn left. I just finished. I just took a scarf or a neck warmer headband. There we go. Off the loom. I'm going to use up the rest of the yarn. It will probably end up being another ear warmer. No, I'm going to be loom knitting. I do crochet, but no, this is going to be loom knit. Here's another project. This one's a scarf that I'm working on. I got this over here I'm working on. This is just going to be a square that I can add to blankets and stuff. Ooh, learning how to crochet. Crochet is really nice. Where's my bag? I will show you if you're wanting to learn. Oh, thank you for subscribing. If you're wanting to learn how to crochet, I'm going to show you like the best way. This is what I think is the best way. Yes, back. Get my nailing down. After I drop my loom tree. Okay. This is a project I started this years ago with the Knitting Guild, but it just got put up. But there's a project called Sophie's Universe. I'm partially through it. I just grabbed, these were clearance somewhere, and I got a bunch of these. That way I didn't have to change the collar out. I'm not done. here is where I'm at with it. What I love about this, it starts in the center. You work your way out. But the way this book is wrote up, the stitches are described very well. And let me get past special stitches. But the way this works, the way this goes, let me find, okay. Every single round is wrote out with images. Now, I'm left-handed, and even that can be confusing for me. There are videos. I don't know who did it. If you type Sophie's Universe into YouTube, there is somebody who did videos for every single row. You watch the videos just row by row. That's how I've done as much of the project as I have. And honestly, I lost my bookmark, and I'm not even sure where I'm at. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let me see. Show you a picture of the full blanket when it's done. It doesn't show very good. Because a lot of the pictures show it like folded over and stuff. Come on. Well, kind of here on the back. Oh, nice. So what type of stuff do you do on your channel? You said you do a lot of crafts. My YouTube channel is fiber related. It's going to be basically loom knitting. That's like my thing. But I do all kinds of crafts too. Now on my lives, I'll talk about whatever and show people different stuff if they want it. Okay, I think I'm in part 7 somewhere. The book, I believe, was like $25. For me, I think it was totally worth it. But if you can also just watch YouTube if you want. Every single row is individually wrote out on individually videoed on YouTube. I haven't worked on this thing in 3-4 years. The knitting guild had, well, Fiber Guild. A bunch of us were going to do it at the same time, and we met at a woman's house, and we all hung out and worked on it. But the health of the woman got to where we weren't really going over anymore, and a lot of us just kind of, that's what happens. We stashed it. Okay, so this is someone on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel as well, and talking about the type of stuff they do. Anything from DIY, Cricut, art, craft, diamond painting, plus much more. Anything creative. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Which, if you guys are interested, the Create and Relate is the name. Because I'm on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook right now live. So you're going to hear comments, hear me talking, and not see the comments or whatever social media you guys are on. I'm responding to somebody different. Now, I've never got into... Oh, absolutely. I love crafty people. It's awesome. But I've never... I like the idea of a Cricut. I think I said circuit. But I know someone who has a Cricut. And for years, I told this person, you really need to utilize it because there are so many things you can be doing. Honestly, if this person didn't have a Cricut and wasn't selling stuff from a Cricut, I would probably have one and be making things. I've got ideas, so many ideas. Now, I'm going to do a stitch that's a little different than what I've done for the things I've made. I'm knitting things to donate. That's there's a couple places that I donate to. So I'm trying something a little different so all the projects aren't exactly the same. Oh, you'll be doing more with it. Yeah. Now, the Cricut, the person I know, they wanted to do, was it through the Cricut? I want to say sublimation. That's not the right word. It's where she would have emptied her printer out and put like the iron-on ink in it. But that may not have been a Cricut thing. That might have just been something different she was wanting to do. But lots of ways to make money with a Cricut. And there's so many attachments you can get to them. Oh, okay, so it is a Cricut thing? All right. Yeah, there's so many attachments. If you guys have never seen the stuff a Cricut can do and the attachments you can get with them, you can get attachments that are for like mugs and stuff. Really neat. And I like little piddly like things, so sitting there and weeding them is something that I would probably enjoy doing, sitting in the evening and just pulling out the excess. Okay. The book I'm looking through is wrote in Portuguese, so it's just going by pictures for me. I think I am going to do cables. Yes, that's what I want to do. But what basic stitch do I want to use? Nope, I'm going to go back to my rib stitch and do cables. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Sublimation. There we go. I don't know what I said to begin with, but that's the word. Okay, I figured out what I'm going to do. We'll put this book up. And put the spinning wheel back up too. I'll go ahead and show you my latest craft that I've added. How to join Facebook Live, not mainly in YouTube chat at the minute. My Facebook channel is Hypnotic Hysteria. And I think I have it set to where it may actually cross share it to my Instagram business as well. I'm not positive. But for actually like my latest crafts I've added to my repertoire. I got some molds and I'm doing little concrete planters. This is an instant cone burner or tea light burner. Let's sit this back there. All right. I've got the idea for what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a rib stitch. Get my yarn back here. There we go. This will probably end up being another head warmer, ear warmer, maybe a neck warmer. We'll see. I want to do some cables. It's the easiest way to get the straw through the yarn through the straw. I know it looks funny. I'm going to think this out for a moment. Oh, where's my peg markers? wrong one. Peg markers. Because I want to mark where I'm going to do the cables. Which, if I'm going to make a headband or a neck warmer, do I want to do 2 sets of cables or just 1 cable? I think I'll do 2 or 3 maybe. I'm completely talking to myself, guys. All right. So, how many pegs do I want to cast on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, I think will be good. Yeah, and this loom, the looms don't come with the pegs not glued in. That's a me thing. But for different reasons. Actually, that's the very last one. I will mark those yellow. Maybe. There are lots and lots of ways you can mark your pegs on your looms. So 1, 2, 3, 2. Now I'm still like going over in my head exactly how I'm going to set this up. So I'm going ahead and marking my center point. And here's my end. Now do I want to do a 3-stitch cable? Because that would be symmetrical. Or I can move it over 1 more peg or in 1 more. Okay. I think I'll cast on 14. There we go. All right. And I'll do a 2-stitch cable here. No, I think I do want to do a 3-stitch cable and then do... I think I want to do more than 1 cable because it's going to be a headband about this wide. I can do kind of like 1 sort of chunky cable, or I can just do a simple... You know what? I want to make it reversible. One side, the cables do not have to be the same. There we go. That's what I'm going to do. Yep. I'm going to have 2 cables on the back and 1 cable running up the front. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I got all kinds of different stitch markers and things. All right. So here's how I have it marked up. I'm going to cast on 14 pegs both sides. I got peg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, and 10, 11 on the back marked, and on the front 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 marked. That worked. Now, how do I want want to do these cables? Do I want to do them as ribbing or stockinette with the cables just in there? Stockinette would be the fastest, but the ribbing will show the texture better. But let me see here. Let me have to adjust. Nice. Okay. Nice. So I'm just doing a rib stitch. That was my cast on here. I put scrap yarn over the top, that first row. And what that does is that just holds that first row out because I'm going to go back and kind of finish it off, give it a smoother edge. And each row is wrapped the exact same way until we do our cable rows. I think I'm going to do, because the seam is going to be in the back, so I don't really need any cables, probably 10 rows in, 10, 15 rows in, and I'll start doing some cables. Tie this. All right, I've got one viewer on Facebook. Is that Create and Relate? Were you able to get on over here? Oh, they won't show me. Maybe not. Try to hold this where everybody can kind of see what I'm doing. Which anytime I'm doing lives, if it's like this where I'm just, well, anytime I'm doing lives, if you got questions about patterns or anything fiber related, just throw them out. Just like Create and Relate was talking about crochet. My channel's not crochet, but I do crochet, so I was able to give some advice. I gotta make sure that I go. Let me see. Will it let me go ahead and follow her back right now? Go to channel. I believe it will. I'm gonna go ahead and follow her. Is it bad that my assumption is that? Okay, I saw the cover photo. I was gonna say I just assumed it was a woman. But there. Oh, her profile photo is super cute. Nice. Awesome. I hope she does fantastic with her channel. I love crafty stuff. Okay, so I got my cast on done. 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 in the back. See what time is it? 1:16. Oh wow, I've been on here for a while. I am trying to do lives when I'm just sitting around and working on projects, because that's what I do during the day. So it's computer work, working on projects, different things like that. It is nice. I've been editing videos and had people give me advice and stuff, you know, and I am one of those that I appreciate. Hey, you found me! This Create and Relate found me on Facebook. Which I just subscribed to your YouTube channel. Your like little logo is super cute. Oh, you have the same logo on here. I couldn't see it on YouTube. The thing is really small. which I cast on another project. Oh, come on. I wanted to heart it. There we go. But pretty much you go on almost any social media platform and you just type in Hypnotic Hysteria or Hypnotic Hysteria Looming, you're going to find me. I've tried to change the logo to the same on all of the ones that are, you know, maybe business related type. I don't know. I am not on Twitter. I do not have a Twitter account. And obviously, I don't have a True Social account. So you're not going to see me on those platforms. But TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, I don't do Snapchat either. I actually have a list. I went through and just kind of joined all the different social medias so that my name would be taken. And that way, if down the road the social media platform does really good and I decide I want to be putting content on there, I want my name to be able to be on there. It's weird. I came up with the name Hypnotic Hysteria when I was like 12 years old. It was just something random I said. There is a band in Europe called Hypnotic Hysteria. I started lives a couple weeks ago. Scary. I know. It's so nervous. I mean, it can be really nerve-wracking. Yeah. But I've got my laptop set up to where my laptop has Facebook and YouTube streaming and my phone has TikTok. You never know where you're going to get your... Sorry. Kid sent me a text. You don't know where your content's going to... Your followers are going to come from. And I got to take a towel upstairs to my kid. I'll be right back. Yeah. The kid's taking a shower and didn't take a towel, so I had to run a towel up. That's what I did, but I have hardly used them. I use YouTube mainly, but I'm hoping to multi-stream soon. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'll grab my list. When I edit videos, I made myself like a checklist thing, and on different social medias, you can only add videos that are certain links. So I went through, but I've got Lemonade, Red Note, Scoops, Blue Sky, Instagram, Clapper, Facebook, Threads, Substack, Pinterest, Tumblr, Reddit, TikTok, Mastodon. I just joined all of them. And just like you, I don't utilize the other ones as much as I should, but I can't go live on all of them. And there's so much, like Lemonade, Red Note, Scoops, Blue Sky. I can only do 1 minute videos on those. And when I'm doing educational stuff, it can be hard to get the information I want to in a 1 minute video, especially when I'm breaking down patterns. I'd have to do, 15-minute video would have to be broke down into 15 clips for one project. Here's my possum mug, everybody. I always like to show off my possum mug. Now for my computer, let me get the name of this program. XSplit Broadcaster. I'll actually type that down. So XSplit. What is this doing? What did I get? Live goal? I don't know what the live goal is. Oh, you sent me a gift. Oh, you're on TikTok too. What did I do over here? I don't know what I did. Yeah. What was this? XSplit Broadcaster. XSPLIT Broadcaster was something I downloaded on my computer. There's a paid version. I got the free version, and that will let me stream on like YouTube and Facebook. There's some other accounts you can hook up to it. I like it for YouTube because when I'm editing videos, it will do the screen and screen, like people that share their streaming their like video game playing and stuff. So you have my little face up in the corner, and then you have the video that I'm editing in the background. Oh yeah, XSplit Broadcaster. XSPLIT Broadcaster. Well, I got a new computer, and I was able to stream and stuff with it, and it was like, well, you have to have a special program downloaded and all this stuff. Oh my god, it was so frustrating to figure out, but I do like the program I got so far. It took me a bit to really, I'm still learning the thing. And video editing. Now, I did pay for my video editing software. I don't remember what it was. It was like a one-time payment. It was some deal. It was like, might have been $50 forever instead of a monthly fee. I don't remember what it was. I did it a few years ago. But it's called Wondershare Filmora, Filmora. That I really like. Now, I have noticed with Wondershare, if you use that program, it is confusing. But if you, it can be very confusing. There are videos for some of it, but I do like the Wondershare. But some things like TikTok and other things will flag the music. So when I do my videos, I do a version that has no music in it. That's what I cut my clips out of for different social media accounts like TikTok and Facebook or whatever, because most of those apps will let you add a background music. It does take a long time to edit. It takes a very long time. But the Wondershare Filmora I like. For YouTube, there's something you can download called TubeBuddy, and that will kind of link to your YouTube, and it gives you kind of checklists to make sure your videos are getting as much exposure as you can. So it's pretty nice too. But it's taken me years to kind of get this stuff together, and I'm always learning more. Always. Okay. I've never had vidIQ. I'm going to write that one down. I haven't heard of that one. So vidIQ is like TubeBuddy. I like I have ADHD. I like my checklist. Oh, so it's simpler. Nice. Yeah, I will check that one out. I'm trying to think what I have. I've got a TubeBuddy. I think has a version, an app you can download. Uh, yeah, ADHD makes it horrible to be productive. Like I have to kind of get myself it creating a routine is so hard. Actually, I'm going to grab my clipboard and show you what I've done. I was diagnosed a couple years ago. Yeah. Isn't it crazy how it takes so much more for a woman to get diagnosed with ADHD than it does a guy? It does. It really does. I just thought I was really dumb. I thought I was just an absolute idiot. My brain didn't work right. But no, I'm like, I was in college. Let me see, I was 24, 23, 24 when I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was going through a divorce and I was able to take advantage of some programs that allowed me to go to college, which was something I couldn't have afforded without any type of assistance. And I did my placement testing to see like where I was because this was a few years after I graduated high school and I did just horrible on the testing. And when I picked out the classes I want to take, the guidance counselor called me in the office and told me, she's like, you can't take these classes. I'm like, why? Well, you didn't, your grades weren't high enough. I'm like, no, these are the classes I want to take. I know I can do this. And the woman kind of argued with me and I went, I'm not asking you. These are the classes I'm taking. And guess what? Straight A's. Like I did great in the classes. At the beginning, I was struggling, and I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, I will read, but it's like as the words are passing, they just disappear in my brain. I said sometimes I will have to read something 3, 4 times for my brain to absorb it. It's like I have the ability to read, but my brain just blacks out on me. And the woman's like, have you ever been tested for ADHD? Well, at this point, ADD. And I'm like, no, I'm not hyper. That's not what that is. And I had this long test, like a written test, bubbles and stuff I had to fill out. It's like 45-minute test. And the woman went over and she's like, oh yeah, honey, you have ADHD. She's like, this, yeah. And then she starts explaining things I do in my life and how she's like, do you do this? And does it affect you this way? And this and that. She's like, you absolutely have ADHD. Okay. This is comments on TikTok about ADHD. Only realized when my kids were being assessed and learned more about it. Both of my kids have autism and both my sons have ADHD too. Yes, I have notebook everywhere. What I learned. Yeah. This is what I was going to show you. I made up a thing I like checking things off. I like my stuff nice and neat. And this is something I do my brain dump. Everything I need to do that day, I just throw it out there. And then I go through and schedule it. Like if I got to take Jax to work, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then I make my top priorities. And then these are things to check off, daily things that somebody who doesn't have ADHD probably doesn't struggle to remember, like make your bed, brush your teeth, brush your hair. So I check this stuff off. And then I have each day something specific wrote out. And I've been doing this for over a year now. And my productivity has jumped Yes, great at learning, but not at remembering. Yeah. And one good thing about ADHD is that because we're just all over the place, we tend to be, the jack of all trades type. And which, if anybody ever, the full quote is, a jack of all trades, but a master of none is oftentimes better than a master of one. Yes. And I think ADHD kind of corresponds with autism a lot. Uh, and now, how old were your kids when they got diagnosed? I know people that were adults when they got diagnosed with ADHD. Yeah. Yeah. Lean into your ADHD. That's your superpower. It may be frustrating to everybody around us. Like when I've got 30 different projects going and I need to edit the video on a different one. Yeah. Like I got concrete planters I'm making now, and I grow plants, and I like to garden, and I knit, and I crochet, and I spin, and yeah, I'm all over the place. 7 and 9. Okay. It's good that I think it's better if they're able to get diagnosed younger. Um, there's more opportunities to learn coping mechanisms. My oldest isn't diagnosed with autism, but has CPTSD, which trauma will, there's a lot of it, we call it traumatism. Jax has the sensory issues and panic attacks and stuff like that, and actually went to a children's um, physical therapy. But what they did was they helped with the desensitization, where they did the brushes, the brushing, which I don't know, what level, if your kids have the textile sensory. I don't want to say issues. I don't like saying issues, but if they just don't like the feel of certain things in their skin, they really help with that. My son's PDA, that is the hardest to manage. PDA. So public displays of affection. You were 40 when you were diagnosed with autism. Not autism, with ADHD. Yes, full on. Okay. I noticed with Jax that going to the counseling and everything, and learning just different ways of, like, okay, how am I going to cope if this is a trigger that I'm not able to just remove myself from? Pathological demand avoidance. Okay, that makes more sense. That's probably a common uh, struggle that parents have with children with autism. Like I said, my oldest isn't autism, but there's serious trauma that happened young, and it did change. Like, it's changed my kid's brain. They have panic attacks and just a lot of psychological stuff going on, and it's a lot of the symptoms are very, very similar to common autism traits. And I've found like my kids, like they just like most of a lot of Jax's friends are neurodivergent of some level. Really, they're some of the coolest kids I know. I know it can be. I'm sure it's very difficult, of course, for the parents and for the kids themselves to have these different, like maybe tics or just impulses, and nobody really understanding. Panic attacks are horrible. Like, I feel for anybody who gets them. I started getting anxiety attacks, panic attacks when I was probably about 9 years old. And my um, my panic attacks over through the course of my life have been so bad, I suppose, or constant, consistent. There we go, just lots of them. And I'm so sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's what happens. Like, I read a comment and then completely lost my train of thought. That's what I do. I have a lot of neurodivergent friends as well. Yes. Yeah, you're having experience with anxiety attacks and panics. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's to be able. You can't really talk someone down from an anxiety attack or a panic attack if you have absolutely no feeling of what they're going through or something that you've ever went through. We lose the train of thought. It is a fast train. No, what I was saying was, as an adult, I had gotten sick, and the doctor done a bunch of tests on me, and this was something they found that they weren't really looking for, but they found out that my heart, my aortic valve, is aortic insufficiency, and the doctor looked at me and he's like, "Your aortic valve is shredding itself." Because I asked him, I was like, "Well, is this a deformity?" Because my mom smoked when she was pregnant with me. She worked in a bar. I had feelings that she drank early on, maybe not knowing she was pregnant. Like, my skull is slightly smaller than it should be, which has caused a Chiari malformation, which is a hernia of my cerebellum. But the doctor's like, "No, this isn't a birth defect. Your heart, that valve is shredding itself." And I was like, "How? What? How does it do that?" And he's like, "It's years and years of panic attacks. It's like your anxiety is shredding your heart or shredding my heart valves." And he said that if I could stop it right now, he said, at some point I'll need heart surgery. I'll need to have that valve replaced. But he's like, "Well, maybe not until you're in your 60s. He's like, "But if you can keep your anxiety under control, then maybe you can go the rest of your life and not need it replaced." But he thought that when I got older, I'll end up needing that valve replaced. Oh, I had no idea. But I mean, my mom gave me a better life than what she had by far. But there was still stuff that was lacking. Although as an adult, to me, she was the best mom I could have ever had as an adult. But she just was a young mom who had undealt with trauma, and in her view, she did better than what she had, but it still left me with lots of trauma. Panic attacks, anxiety attacks, just it was so bad at one point. I was hearing and seeing things, and I thought I had like schizophrenia or something. And as I've went through counseling over the years and learned things and processed trauma, That's went away. It's insane how destructive stress is to your body. But yeah, so far, like my aortic valve and my mitral valve are leaky. The aortic valve is the one the doctor said it's kind of shredded. It's shredding itself. I guess it's not open like this, like you think. There's like I think 3 flaps that kind of close, and those flaps, like when they close, they don't seal. So blood can reflux through that. And if I'm having an anxiety attack, I always explain that. It felt like my heart was beating sideways. And the doctor's like, well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. No, where are you at? Mental health treatment is something that there needs to be a massive overhaul of. They need to encourage uh, more research into things, unbiased, peer reviewed research. I'm going to note that because if you're following the politics in the US, I'm in the United States, in Ohio. I'm from West Virginia. I'm right on that border originally. Well, on the border now, but originally from West Virginia. Beautiful place, lots of poverty, lots of drugs, lots of mental health issues. But West Virginia is so beautiful. Yeah, earlier I was so. Do you follow what are being a parent to autistic children? I don't know if you have heard, followed what the United States is going to be like, what their views on autistic children are, like what RFK is putting out there. Preventative measures protect children. Oh no, you haven't heard? Okay, so there is a politician in the United States. His name is RFK Jr. He's the nephew of JFK. He was a very popular president and that was assassinated. Well, RFK is a huge anti vaxxer. And the problem is that he has been known for years to spread misinformation, peer reviews that are biased. They're looking for the research they want to see. He does have some views I agree with. He thinks that the United States needs to remove all artificial dyes. Absolutely. Like, your country's done this. I don't know if you guys ever had like the Red 40 and stuff. But if the rest of the world says, no, we won't accept this, it makes sense that we shouldn't have it either. That's not where the problem is. The problem is that RFK did this speech talking about, he said that they're doing a big thing. They're going to learn the cause of autism. He said that they will know the cause of autism by September. He's going to find out the cause of autism by September. Number one, that's not how science works. But I don't remember the whole thing, and it's going to make you really mad if you just look up the video. But he was saying autistic kids will never pay taxes. They're not a benefit to society. They are a burden on the family. What all was he saying? They'll never work. They'll never love. They'll never love. Are your kids capable of loving? Like, this is insane eugenics stuff. But what he is doing is, a guy he hired to help with this process is a doctor who's lost all of his credentials because of spreading false information about vaccines and saying that RFK isn't saying that autism is a genetic inherited condition. He is saying that it is caused from vaccines. He is saying that children aren't born autistic, that they turn autistic because of exposure to things. my view is that if there is I think it's something, the experience I have with autistic children, when little kids, you don't see the signs. Kids are weird. They're going to do weird stuff. So by the time you really start noticing the signs and symptoms, these kids are about to go in school where they just had all those vaccines before school. Yeah, your kids are absolutely human. And there are so many videos of people who are autistic and like, look, I pay taxes, I'm married, I can love. I'm capable of loving people. And he's also saying that it ruins families to have autistic kids, and that you don't see old people with autism. Yeah. I suppose it's how they're brought up. If they are shown love is what they learn over time. Yeah. It's the people I've seen, I notice more people with autism, and I know they don't use the term Asperger anymore, and I completely understand it. But that's kind of the level, the most of the people I see with autism, that's kind of sort of where they're at. Now, the extreme autism, you see it, but not a huge amount. Old people have just not, exactly, yes, the people weren't diagnosed then. Absolutely. And there may be an increase of people getting autism. I don't believe it's due to vaccines. I believe maybe exposure the mother has during pregnancy, I think would be a much more likely culprit. Where I'm from, I'm in an area that's called Chemical Valley or Cancer Valley, the Mid-Ohio Valley. We have plants all along the river. When I was a kid, one of the plants, DuPont, got in big trouble for dumping this chemical called C8 into the water, which was proven to cause deformities in pregnancy, various forms of cancer. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not going to pretend to be one. And I'm going to trust medical professionals and people who have education and backing. RFK is a lawyer. I think an environmental lawyer. He has done some good stuff, but he's not a good person. He kind of brags that he was a heroin addict all the way through college. He said, "Oh, I went from an F student to a straight A student from using heroin." You don't brag about being a drug addict. And now he is running like the Health Institute for the United States. Yay. Yes, it is very harmful. Masking does have good outcomes. I mean, sometimes you're just going to have to mask, but I think it's harmful, like, for the kids to just not feel safe. Well, I can't act like this. This is an impulse that I have to just really hide. I can't say this. I can't do that. Now, over in the UK, like conditions like autism, how prevalent would you say that it is? In the United States, I think it's, kind of everywhere it's higher than what the statistics say, because not everybody's getting tested. Some doctors don't want to diagnose people with autism. Oh, that's another thing. RFK is getting access to all medical records, genetic testing, anything done on anybody with autism. That's not legal at all. These are private medical records he shouldn't have access to. They're also somehow getting access to people's like smartwatches to get data from those as well. They are, the UK, I'm going to assume, is a lot better at teaching history than the United States. But does it sound familiar that they are making a list of people who have cognitive disabilities. Sorry, I shouldn't have said disability. Like, autism, ADHD, stuff like that. They're making a list of these people they deem less than. What happened in Germany when they did that? Yeah. And people are furious over that. And I mean, there are, yes, if they have access to all the data, but the problem is he is searching for his bias. He is going to come and say he's been able to link it to vaccines. He will not come back and say, well, we've learned that environmental exposure to lead during pregnancy, or this chemical, or you know what? This is just it's a chromosomal thing. This is a genetic thing. It's passed down. Man. Oh, I'm very concerned about stuff in the United States. I follow it much closer than a lot of other people I know. I think there's a genetic component too. There may be environmental factors that maybe can exacerbate it or make it a little, I don't even like saying the word worse, but there's definitely genetic components to it. I've seen families where the dad was autistic and the son was autistic. Okay, so your dad had ADHD, which came down to you. My dad had ADHD, has ADHD as well, but he was never diagnosed. I just know he's got ADHD because he always has 100 projects going and never finishes any of them. And yeah, your children's dad had autism, but that just made me sick to my stomach when I saw that man stand up and with his full chest just say, autistic kids, people with autism will never pay taxes, will never be a active member of society. They are a hindrance to their families. They destroy families. They can't love. That is not how change happens. Not how change happens. And RFK had an aunt. He was saying you don't see older people with like autism and stuff. He had an aunt that was lobotomized. Yeah, it was an aunt. I think it was an aunt, not a great aunt. Yeah, my dad definitely had ADHD. Now, my mom didn't. Because of the support I've given my children, my daughter is off to uni this year to do TV and media. That is awesome. Now, how old are your kids? I'm 13 and 19. There's not a single person I personally know who has any form of autism that doesn't have at least one area where they excel in such just amazing ways, whether it is photographic memory, like total recall, that is just insane. And different things like that. Maybe they are very good with mathematics. Maybe they are really good, typically they're good at picking out patterns and things like that. Yes, they may not be the best at kind of noticing facial. I've noticed having trouble understanding like sarcasm, stuff like that sometimes. My son is in college studying music and production, both very creative. Twins, boy and a girl, both 18. That is fantastic. I'm going to assume that since you're in the UK, that your children had access to better health care their entire lives. My oldest is CPTSD, chronic migraines, has a condition called POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And there's really not much help. Jax is working and we are scared. Jax is about to lose their insurance. Cannot function. My kid since they were 16 has lived with a scopolamine patch on 24/7. So for almost 4 years, my kid has wore a scopolamine patch so they're able to get in a car and leave the house without getting sick or getting as sick. But what help is there? And my kid can't. There is a system in our country that is set up to keep poor people poor. If you try to do good, you try to get a job, you get a raise. Let's say you get a 10-cent raise, and that raise puts you barely over the limit, and you're going to lose your insurance. Well, what do? Do you start paying $400-500 a month to have insurance that's going to give you the deductibles and copays and all this stuff that's outrageous? Or are you going to keep your previous pay so that you don't lose any benefits you have? Like, it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't have people who do not take advancements in job because they financially can't afford to. No, I had to fight for everything. Mental health help here in any form is ridiculous. My son is doing volunteer work to help others find their creative selves. Aw. Well, I hate that mental health is like that over there. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of messed up everywhere. But that is fantastic. It sounds like you've done an amazing job with your kids. It sounds like they are empathetic. They want to help others, being involved in like music and arts and just creativity. Growing up, I wanted to be like a therapist. My father. Oh, awesome. My daughter's backup is teaching creative arts to special needs children. That is so fantastic. Well, and she's going to have a level of empathy and understanding with special needs kids, even if it's not autism, that a neurotypical person isn't going to have. And it's nothing against a neurotypical person. It's just there are some you cannot develop. I feel that there are certain things you cannot develop a correct level of empathy for without actually going through it yourself. An example I can give is the gynecologist I had insurance change, so I had to switch my gynecologist. And the one I had, it was a man, amazing. Bedside manner was just fantastic. He was an amazing doctor. He'd been a doctor for a long time, and he was very knowledgeable. He just knew the answers to everything. And he's, we're asking him questions like, what happens to the belly button and why do men have nipples? And he's not laughing. He's just giving us straight, serious answers. Well, my new gynecologist is a female. It's a female. And she is a newer doctor. She doesn't have the experience or the knowledge you get from years of practice that my former doctor does or had. But I noticed a level of empathy that I got with her that I didn't realize I didn't have with my previous gynecologist. I had a hysterectomy in November, like for years and years and years. It's just like, pat, biopsy. And then I had a couple LEEP procedures, and I had the cold cone knife sterile, whatever it was. Every time, it just seemed like I was constantly going in for biopsies. And the first gynecologist I had, the man, my first LEEP procedure that I had to have, he did in office, and I wasn't sedated or anything. I took like a couple Xanax before I came just to keep me from having a panic attack. But it was just local numbing. And, you could feel the pressure and stuff. Like I knew what he was doing. And then like I saw what he removed. And I never realized how traumatic that could be. It wasn't a thought until I had a second LEEP procedure done with my new gynecologist. And I told her what happened. And I was like, oh, I had it in office. And she's like, what? She's like, no, that is traumatic and I will not do that to you. She's like, you're going to be put under. She's like, it's just a twilight and you're not going to feel anything. You're not going to know anything. You're just going to wake up. And to me, like, that was amazing. Like, she was, just right there with me the whole time. She knew I was scared because every time you go in, you're getting biopsies. You're just waiting for that one to come back where it's like, this is a little much. But after the last biopsy that they've done, she said there's nothing more that they're able to take. So then I'm like, let's just do a hysterectomy. Leave my ovaries, take everything else out. I don't have to worry about cervical cancer if there is no cervix. But to me, that was like a level of empathy that, yeah. So if you're able to empathize with something you've been through better than someone who hasn't. That's my opinion. My opinion. So how what do I call you? You put your Stacy. Now, how long have you had your YouTube channel? Like, how long have you been doing educational videos? Aww. It can be absolutely heartbreaking to be an empathetic person. Oh, so you're new to it. Okay. My original YouTube channel came out in 2010 or either end of 2010 or the beginning of 2011. It was while I was pregnant with my youngest. And I was pregnant, someone else I knew was pregnant, and she wanted to learn how to loom knit baby hats. Our schedule, we could never sync up and just get together and hang out. I had a horrible webcam, like, I don't know, like a 5 megapixel webcam. It was, I don't know what it was. It was bad. And I did just a quick little video for her, and I made a little YouTube channel. I didn't know it was public, and I sent her the link to it. At the time, I was pregnant, and my original YouTube channel's name was I Have No More Skittles, because I wasn't taking it seriously. But I start getting comments and questions and stuff, and it freaked me out at first. It made me very uncomfortable at first because that wasn't my intention. But then I just kind of leaned into it and started doing more videos. And I early on had a woman, Betty. She worked for a company that did big S-looms, and they were doing a kind of like a relaunch of one. Excuse me. And she wanted me to help with the rewrite of it. So I did that. And then that was released at Hobby Lobby. And then they did another remake of it. They just changed the materials made out of, which really wasn't much better material. But they relaunched it at Michael's. Now, if you go into Michael's and see their S-loom, there's a blonde woman on the cover with a blue blanket around her. That blanket I made. They never mailed it back to me, and they were supposed to. I was so frustrated because I made that blanket. It was nice yarn. They'd sent me a nice wool yarn that they carry. But yeah, I was pregnant. I wanted Skittles. But then once I realized there was people starting to watch, then I made a new channel and did Hypnotic Hysteria. And back in 2019, I think it was, whenever my new channel started, I had, my channel got hacked. I had over 700 videos. I had over 1 million views on my channel. I was really proud of it. I had over 30,000 subscribers, and I lost all of it. Like, it was to the point to where my commission checks from video views, I was getting checks every month, and then it's just instantly all gone. I was able to save how many videos out of the 700 videos? I think there was 400 that I was able to download and keep. And there's videos that were parts of other videos that I've lost that I've remade over the years. But then my new channel, I did the Hypnotic Hysteria Looming. Okay, so what you do, YouTube will not email you directly and ask for information. I fell for it. I might as well have gave money to a Nigerian prince. I knew better. I got an email, and it looked like a YouTube email, and they're saying, it was some, I forget what it was, but they made it sound real. And they had to get past the 2-step authentication. And no, I didn't realize I was giving them access to everything. And as soon as they logged in, they changed the email associated with the account, which meant I had no access to get back into it. Changed email, changed password, and it was just within minutes. And they changed the profile picture. And as soon as they did that, I had over 30,000 subscribers. I started getting emails and messages on different social things saying, hey, what is this? And so then everybody started mass reporting the channel. And since I was under 1 million views in the United States, I'm worthless. I have a friend in Australia who has a big channel. In Australia, you don't have to be as big to get assistance. So she was able to contact somebody and have the channel taken down. But all those subscribers, all that watch time, all of the videos, so much of it was lost. Do not, make sure you have that 2-step authentication set up. Have an extra hard drive, just like an external hard drive, that you have a copy of every single video you do on. Don't trust it to the cloud. Don't trust it to just your laptop, because your laptop can crash or it can get hacked. Have an external hard drive. It was devastating. It was so devastating. And I almost didn't, I was almost just like, no, I'm done. It's so much work. But I came back, which I'm glad I did. And it shouldn't have taken me this long to really get back to doing videos. Right now, I'm working on a series I don't know if I'm going to call it squares or blocks or whatever. It's a sampler series. Yeah, very good that you use a backup. I had a lot of my videos backed up, but it didn't dawn on me. My computer was running out of space, and I deleted stuff that I didn't realize that I didn't have backed up. But it sounds like for getting started back in September, October, you've got you've got different video editing apps and stuff downloaded. You've got your TubeBuddy, things like that. I didn't do any of that for years, because my channel was, say, 2011. It might have been 2020 when my channel got hacked, because I'm thinking the channel was up for 10 years. Good on you for pushing through all that. Did you get your subscribers back? No. If you look at my YouTube channel, I haven't even got past 8,000, which, that's good. But when I'm coming from a place where I had a very large following and had I don't know that I'll ever get that back. I honestly don't. But I noticed, as soon as I started TikTok, I got more subscribers on my TikTok than I do my YouTube. I was preparing preparing and procrastinating for 4 years before he started on YouTube. It's very anxiety inducing, especially like in my videos that are on my YouTube channel, it's not this. It's a video where you're seeing the table and my hands. For videos, I'm more comfortable that way. I don't have to worry about my hair, anything. I'm going to do about 10 rows, and then I'm going to start my cables, I think. What time is it? 2:13? Okay. So did you have a bunch of content ready before you started your channel? The features of being able to schedule out your posts, like when I redid my YouTube channel, well, at one point I was doing so many videos that I would have 6 to 8 months. I think the most I did was actually a year of videos scheduled out. Every Friday, a new video was released. And I'm working on that. I'm working to get to that again. I've got about 15 videos, I think, on my YouTube that just need to be released. I'm waiting until I get so many done before I start having them come out. Oh, no, you're fine. No, you're not stopping me at all. I'm sitting here chatting and doing things. My original videos were horrible, which they're still on my YouTube channel. They say never remove a video from YouTube, even if it's a bad one. What I would do is if I had a video that I updated or if there was information on it that I'm like, I like doing this better, I would just add in the comment or in the description, updated video and put the link there instead of deleting the video. Yeah, I know, like mine, they were all grainy. My nails looked horrible, which now I always make sure I put nails on before I do videos. I just get the Kiss ones, the short ones from Dollar General. It's like $4 a pack here. Which a lot of the stuff with my videos too, because I do work with Cindywood looms and KB looms, and sorry, excuse me, and with KB looms, they're a lot pickier, because Cindywood looms, I'm the one who made their YouTube channel. Like, I helped them do all that. And I remember one of the first conversations I had with the owner, I'm setting up a YouTube channel for her. And so they, they're just excited to have content, and they appreciate all content. KB Looms is very picky. They want, which is awesome, because the woman was so picky that it's really helped me do much better with my videos. A lot better with my videos. Oh, the acrylics. My first time I ever had acrylic nails was because of YouTube. It was when I did the video, the completely cozy wool blanket for Michaels. They paid for me to have acrylic nails to do the video for it. And I don't know what it cost over in the UK, but it is expensive. For just basic like this, you're going to be paying like $45-50. Whereas, which these nails, I really like these ones. They stay good, but I went to beauty school when I first got out of high school, so I know how to do acrylics. But God, it's a lot of work, and the fumes from it. is just horrible. So I prefer my glue-on cheapies. I do have a friend who makes custom acrylic nails that are reusable. I would love to get her to make me a pair. They can be kind of pricey to have them made, but she custom makes them to fit your nails. Whereas I'm gonna show you my thumb; it looks gross. My nail is flatter than the fake nail is, so it actually causes ridges because it's trying to make my nail this shape instead of this shape. So I get like these ridges. But if I had them custom made to fit my fingers, oh my god, Sparky's nails are so awesome. She's done ones that have little magnets inside them that you don't see, but she makes these like little fidget spinner things that you can attach to it. I want one of those, because I would be just sitting here doing this all the time, just fidgeting with it. I think the reason she hasn't done any for me yet is because this is what I want, and she does the ones that you would see Dolce have on, like the big crazy ones. Doing fake nails smells so bad. But man, when I was in beauty school, I did like the form and doing like the sculpted nails where it's all acrylic. There's no fake nail there at all. Those ones were nice. Yeah, those fumes are very, very bad on you. Yeah, it reminds me. I need to talk to Sparky. Sparky, you gotta make me some nails. Yes, I have one too. I have a couple of them. There's different kinds. This one fits my thumb that I can just fidget with. I like it. I got this one from Temu as well. I love Temu. But due to the insanity over here, Temu prices are getting ready to raise for the United States, I guess, tariffs and such. I purchased things from various wholesalers, and I've had multiple companies email me and tell me, after this date, our prices will be rising because of tariffs. The place I get my incense from, they sent this email and it was just so apologetic and just so sweet. But it was like, our whatever stock we have, we are not changing the price. But as we replenish, we will have to change the price. We will have to match the added cost of the tariffs. Oh, yeah. Temu's fantastic. Oh man, it's 2:20. All right, well, I am going to get off of here, start moving around some more. I'm sure I got to do some laundry. There's always laundry to do. But Stacy's your name, right? Yes, that's what's showing over here. I'm looking back because the Facebook message is there, and on there it has your name on it. But thank you for, finding me on 3 different places today and hanging out and talking. It was really nice. I am going to go ahead and follow you over here on. Oops. Yeah, I'll go ahead and end the live. I'm ending my Facebook Live, people. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am going to go ahead and follow your page. How do I follow your page? I don't use Facebook on my computer often. I usually am on my phone. If I want to find you, follow your other accounts. What was that? Love to meet you. I will show you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, and it was really enjoyable talking to you. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. And this just leaves YouTube. All right. Everybody who came and talked and hung out with me, thank you so much.